time for us to have our second conversation for the day, and we want to look at the state of politics versus Kenya's problems. In studio, we do have Odhiambo Otieno. He's a communication strategist. Odhis, good morning, happy new year.
Good morning and happy new year.
Uko salama kabisa?
Kabisa, how about you?
Mimi niko fiti.
Nice to see you in the chilly weather of Nairobi.
Is it that bad though?
Oh,
is it really chilly?
Special.
Bado, si ndio? Mimi naona iko tu sawa.
But no, it's fine.
Lakini mwenye anasema bado amevaa jacket tatu.
Unajua?
Amevaa vest, amevaa t-shirt, alafu amevaa shati na amevaa jacket.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. Na amevaa trouser ngapi?
2.
Na amevaa socks pair ngapi? Here we are. It's nice to see you.
To hear him speak, you'd think I've prevented him from wearing 3.
Why don't you give him the methali kutoka kule Zambia?
Yes, we are in the Republic of Zambia. And the capital of Zambia, I think everybody knows.
Lusaka.
And it's also the largest city.
Uh-huh.
Now, they have a currency. Do you know what it's called?
Inaitwa kwacha?
Inaitwa kwacha. Yes. Remember, for the longest time, Zambia was known for its copper.
Yes.
And it was a fairly prosperous country when copper was considered to be of enormous value. Then somewhere along the line, the world market, the value and price of copper dipped.
Yeah.
And that economy went into a dip as well.
Yeah.
But over time, copper has come back as a fairly valuable, should we say, natural resource.
Okay.
The proverb, don't start a fight just because your companion is strong.
Don't start a fight just because your companion is strong.
Yes.
Yeah. My understanding would be that you should not depend on another person's pocket or budget to fight your wars.
Or ability.
Or
strength.
Yes.
You're very right.
Yeah. Utapigwa.
Ukitaka kuanzisha vita, wewe anzisha vita juu unaweza imaliza.
Yes.
Usianzishe vita alafu unaambia mtu take over.
Yeah. And I see such a case in Kenya today. People blaming each other. Oh, wait, you're operating on the budget of so and so. You're being funded by so and so. Yeah.
But why? I don't know why it is people react to it. Everybody's funded by somebody.
Yeah.
Actually, my question would be, is there a problem if I'm funded? Or if, because, you know what, let's call it what it is. People are saying that the Oburu side of ODM is being funded by President Ruto. And then there are others who are saying that the Sifuna side is being funded by President Uhuru. Is there a problem really if they're being funded?
I don't think if there's a problem. I don't think there's a problem because funding has always been there. What will be a problem for me is if the funding was coming from abroad. And specifically if the foreign powers wanted to influence a particular way we are going in terms of extraction of our natural resources, that would be a big problem.
Yeah.
But kawaida pesa ndani wameibaiba. Let them finance each other.
What do you know we don't know?
So much. But City knows more. It's just being kind.
You know, this man begins a fight. Then he pulls me into it.
The same thing the proverb is telling him not to do.
Yes, he's pulling me into a fight. And it's
So we've been seeing what is happening.
Yes.
This Linda Wananchi, Linda Ground thing. What do you have to say first of all about it? And it's now deteriorating to things that we are afraid of. For example, was it when Kitengela someone lost his life? Now over the weekend another person has been stabbed by someone within the crowd. What's going on?
Well, it's interesting. This is quite a broad spectrum. One, the happening in ODM, of course, was inevitable beyond the death of Raila because the institutionalization of the structures of governance within ODM was not very well placed within Raila's lifetime. And I believe it was intentionally structured that it worked that way so that Raila would be the final decision maker, but also will be the major factor in any decision making, basically within the party. And that, of course, now has come full circle, and we are having the divisions that we are seeing. It is evident once more that ODM is not a party that had a unilateral ideology.
Yes,
there were very many ideologies within ODM. The only thing they were agreeing with, or I could say, there's a principal ideology, a master ideology, that we want change. But the process towards change is different. Because some people were saying, like for example, the Linda Wananchi, they're saying, change is not going to come by negotiations or by auctioning our party to the state. Change is going to come if we go back to the street or if we hold on to particular things. They look like a people's audit firm.
Okay.
They're auditing the government, they're auditing the processes. But the Linda Ground team looks to me like a team that is more focused on, they're saying, we are mature.
Yeah.
And we have done this before. They are older, of course. And I believe with age comes wisdom and strategy. There's not much excitement amongst them. I think they're looking at why can't we do things a little bit differently. We're at the tail end of our lives. I think it is important that we approach this by strategic partnership with the state. However, the process looks weak in terms of negotiation. And I do agree that weak process is going to affect how we are running, basically. Because one thing I would have intended to see, and this is not my just in personal intention, I believe it is that of also many other people, that strong parties are important. For a long time in the history of Kenya, ever since before I was born, Kenya has had election vehicles that people basically use to go
into an election.
But ODM has proven beyond reasonable doubt that it's not just an election vehicle. It's a party that is grounded on ideology of change, social justice, and ODM is looking at how can we improve basically our polity. And so many things that have happened within the lifetime of the 20 years of ODM is a proof that a very good party, a strong party, is good for the nation, not only for the members of the party. If you ask for my personal opinion, I would tell you, as an ODM member at heart, I'm not a registered member of ODM. I resigned in 2023.
Okay.
But I remain ODM at heart.
Why did you resign?
I resigned because I was doing some NGO work that required me not to be politically exposed actively.
All right.
So I had to resign from the party. But at heart, I remained. Even my resignation letter, I did indicate that. So that said, I think we should maintain the life of ODM. These two warring parties should come back to the table and agree on one common thing. That yes, we have our differences, but we'll sort them within. But I see something interesting happening within the party. That is, there are a few people within the party who are hell-bent at securing their nominations in 2027. And majorly they come from Luo Nyanza. Because if you remove somebody like Edwin Sifuna...
Yes.
My thinking is that...
Remove him from where?
Removing him from the post of Secretary General, like they're doing. Of course, nobody will see that he's still a member. The intention that you're communicating that we don't want you.
Yes.
Because he can't be that high ranking and then falls back to an ordinary member. At that level, he will definitely shift somewhere else. If the party leadership, as at now, would have seen it better to sit with him and agree on how do we move forward and transition, because what is important is transition. We would have a stronger party post 2027. But I sense that ODM is going for its final lap. In fact, what is happening with the Linda Ground team is what I call a lap of victory. They're already doing a lap of, and that has been a curse that ODM has had for quite some time, where we have this bravado of Guinea Wasekao, which means this thing we have, we've taken it already. We have the deep state, etc. There's that malady in ODM of doing the winners or the winning lap, victory lap, which the Linda Ground team is doing instead of putting in the work.
How I understand what you've called winning lap. You've called it what?
Yeah, victory lap.
Victory laps, thank you. Is when Kipchoge wins that whatever. He does one round around the
pitch,
the pitch to just, salimia my fans.
With the flag.
Now, Ambie, thank you for supporting me.
Exactly.
So, what you're saying is that this Linda Ground team, wameshafika, wameshinda, they have what they want. So, this is just them saying thank you.
Exactly. And that is very premature. Because if you look at the turnout in 2027 as a researcher, and CT is also one, he will agree with me that if you project in terms of trying to analyze 2027, with the 9 keys which I've stated before, you will realize that there's a lot of work to be done, because there are going to be 3 horses in 2027. Of course, there's going to be the president,
Okay.
the incumbent. Then we're going to have the one who will be running from the opposition.
Okay.
Because the opposition is still fragmented for me. Then the third one will be the voter apathy. Okay.
Okay.
So
Actually, I expected you to say the third one will be this Linda Mwananchi faction.
Linda Mwananchi, in my thinking, if the opposition wants to win 2027, then they will take either, most probably Sifuna, to run as president. In my view,
This is now the united opposition.
Yeah, I know that is weird, but that is how
No, it's
I
not
look at
weird.
it.
I mean, this country, we have seen
Many things happen.
tumeona.
So if Sifuna runs for president, in my view, with a deputy who is the stature of Kalonzo, probably not, or my good friend, Jimmy Wanjigi, as a deputy, that'd be a very strong ticket and perhaps a winning ticket.
In which universe
Yes.
do you think Kalonzo would deputize Sifuna?
That's why I did a oops.
Actually, do not do the oops.
Yeah.
In which universe does Matiang'i deputize Sifuna?
No.
In this universe that we
Yes.
speak of, this universe is called Kenya.
Yeah.
We've seen stranger things happen.
Yeah.
I have stopped believing that anything is too far-fetched. Then I stopped. There are perimeters that people spoke of as sealed in concrete,
Right.
immovable, and I've seen those move.
Yes.
Okay? The first one I saw moving
Yes.
was Raila joining KANU. These are the people who had incarcerated him, had tortured him.
Yeah.
He joined them. And guess what? He became SG of the party.
Yes.
And
Okay.
he became a minister.
And he became a minister. Okay?
Yeah.
It was anticipated that because of what he had suffered under this government, he would never join them. See, he joined them. This was not the beginning of coalitions. It was a continuation of coalitions in this country. Okay?
Right.
Then what else do we see? Something which is even more interesting. In the year 2002, politically, the Luos and the Kikuyus were considered to be at odds from the time Jaramogi was pushed out of KANU. And it was assumed no Luo would vote for a Kikuyu presidency.
Yeah.
How they voted.
To-
In
to-
fact, I have never seen a higher turnout of voters during that particular period in time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We had the 2008 internal conflict.
Yeah.
The Kalenjins pitted themselves against the Kikuyu
Kikuyus, yeah.
and other communities who live in the Rift Valley, the Wasingishu area and so forth. And in my view, there is absolutely no way a Kalenjin would vote for a Kikuyu president. They voted.
Yeah. To a man.
Then came the follow after 10 years, and I said, this time, I don't think the Kikuyu vote is going to vote for William Ruto.
Yeah.
They gave him the presidency. So this thing that people keep saying, these things are impossible. In politics,
Anything
in
is
Kenya,
possible.
my friend,
Yeah.
in fact, go for it.
Yeah.
Just give any permission that you think within this country it was a possibility. Who knew 1 month ago
Yeah.
that Sifuna would actually right now present as actually the main opposition to this particular region? Who could have foreseen? Who saw it? Nobody saw it.
I can actually see a Sifuna Wanjigi ticket, whereby actually even Sifuna is the running, I mean not the running, but the main
candidate, yeah.
the candidate, and then Wanjigi as the running mate.
Can I tell you?
Yes.
As a political strategist, if Sifuna runs for president and Wanjigi deputizes him, they come as non-legacy politicians.
Okay.
They come as those who want to drain the swamp. Let me use the term. They come as those who understand. In fact, Wanjigi comes as a safe pair of hands for the investors and the capital markets, etc. Those who wonder, is Sifuna mature enough to be a president? They will be like, oh, in the hands of Wanjigi, we can see some level of maturity and stability.
Yeah.
And also that also brings the Kikuyu vote, who are rebelling against President Ruto.
Yeah.
But at the same time, who are wondering what to do, because definitely you look at Rigathi Gachagua, there's a question here or there. Whether he will make it or not is not very clear. But Wanjigi looks like somebody who is the example of Kikuyu success to the highest level that it can be, which is that level of economic empowerment. That's a very dangerous ticket because, again, Wanjigi has one of the best manifestos that I've ever seen. I've looked at it, and I think it's very sound for the question that we are going to face in 2027, which is the economic question. In 2027 is about a political question for me. It's an economic question of people's pay slips are attached somehow. People are feeling the weight of lack of money. The banks are not borrowing you money easily.
Forget even borrowing money. People are hungry.
People are hungry.
Yes.
There is so much that is happening, which somebody that formulates a proper narrative in 2027 about the economy then will easily topple the current regime. And that is a very interesting path to take. But if that doesn't happen, then Ruto will again be re-elected.
Yes.
Because it's again the race against voter apathy. And this team of Linda Ground in ODM is not understanding that. They are doing the victory lap, but without the people. They don't have the people with them. Because, when I often say this, when you go to the ballot, I don't know if this happens to you as well.
Yeah.
And you are in your ballot booth where you want to tick
my candidate.
your candidate. The thing that will make you choose a candidate and leave the other is betrayal. You don't actually choose who to vote. You look at the list and see who to betray. Am I going to betray City? Am I going to betray Mungala? And if I can betray 3, then which option am I left with? The one that looks least dangerous is the one that I will go with. So if people are going to choose the one that's least dangerous, then this Linda Ground team is not adding any value to the president.
Okay.
But
Completely.
remember, these fellows in ODM come from a background where the voting pattern then was more around who does Raila support.
Yeah.
Because in voting for that person, you are supporting Raila.
Yeah.
ODM was second, not first. It was Raila who was being supported.
It was Raila first. That's
Yes,
true.
and then ODM second.
True.
See, now in the absence of Raila, people are getting used to the idea of ODM. But ODM, for it to make sense, somebody has to represent some part of the ethos that Raila represented.
Exactly. That near cultic following.
Yes.
Near cultic love.
Yes, because with Raila's death, there has been a vacuum.
That's right. That's right. And actually, that's what I was coming to next. That if you analyze ODM properly and you want to understand it, you must understand that Raila had so many people who loved him, but they never loved ODM. For example, you'll find in Luo Nyanza, people will be denied tickets, but people will still vote for Raila. They'll still turn out the last minute and vote for Raila. But they will even stop or not vote for these other candidates. But Raila's love was there. And the passion you could feel, or even that if you go to Luo Nyanza today, the passion that you'll still feel is the Raila gap. Right now, nobody, Oburu is lethargic. You look at him, the way he talks, the way he walks, whatever he tries to talk about.
Yes.
It's very lethargic. There's no energy.
Odhiambo. The other day I saw a clip, some music playing.
Yeah.
That guy has moves.
He doesn't have moves.
I saw him throwing a small jig, I said, good moves, man.
But were they lethargic good moves?
No. They were rhythmical. I mean, for heaven's sake.
They might have been good, but good lethargic moves.
And I
You know
saw
something?
Yeah.
Dr. Oburu is not in his first youth. Okay? So I will judge him on that basis.
Okay.
How many people his age do you know of who are able to do even what he's trying to do now? When a man that age is trying to do what he does, I take my hat off to him because he's a man who is symbolizing just the simple idea of not giving up.
However,
not sitting back and saying, you know something, I'm not going to do this thing.
I agree with City, but as much as I agree with him, I also want to say this, that Oburu needs to exit the stage very fast. When you're that age, you don't dance around for a long time because
wanasemanga a good dancer knows when.
He was a caretaker, and in fact, if Oburu is brilliant, 27th of March marks his exit out of the party leadership.
What is happening on 27th of March?
There's the NDC.
Okay.
Yeah. If I was him, and I have the interest of the party, because I don't think he's going for any proper seat in 2027. I don't see Oburu going for any seat. So then he needs to just hand over to this younger generation. I've said this before, City. I don't know whether you're an SD like myself.
For them?
I'm an SDA.
He's Anglican.
You're Anglican? Okay. So for me, I'm an SDA. And I believe it also happens in Anglican. I've never worshipped with Anglican.
Okay.
We have something called the children's ministry and the youth ministry. It's one of the strongest components of the church.
Okay.
As compared to the older people. In fact, for us older people, if I classify myself in as such, we are more of family life. And even in that family life, you're being taught how do you take care of the youth and the younger generation. And that one has ensured that the church has always grown. And even the Catholic Church, if you look at it, you'll find the Sunday school, it's always very strong. And they are very keen on these kids transitioning into ensuring that the church's doctrines are maintained. Now, if I compare that against the ODM party today, you find that everybody wants to make serious decisions in ODM is saying the youth are an enemy. The youth energy is juvenile. The youth energy is not structured. Then what do we do as the older people in ODM? Then we guide them. It's okay. Somebody like, for example, Babu Owino.
Yeah.
Of course, he has some energy which looks like he needs to be guided. Then you sit with him and tell him, you know what? As we are now in our sunset ages, we can sit from outside and just watch what you're doing. Like, for example, if you look at Luyaland, there's this MP, I think he used to be MP for Westlands. It's called Gumo. You meet him in town lately. He's so comfortable and relaxed because they mentored the next generation. If you look at Rift Valley, for example, average age of their representative is 37. If you look at the average age of representative in ODM, they're 57.
Okay.
And that is a very dangerous thing. And we are pointing fingers at this young generation without mentoring them. So what will they do? They'll become anarchists. And when they become anarchists on 27th of March, we're going to have a serious war, wherever this NDC will be held. Because if there's a proper structure, then we'll say, okay, Odhiambo and your team, come, campaign properly, tell us the seat you want, and let's come and do it.
When you say war, do you mean an ideological one or a physical one?
No, there's going to be a physical one. There's going to be a physical altercation, and it will be very bloody. That I can assure you. Because from Babu and Sifuna are not yet leaving the party. But you see the kind of people they are having. Those people are energetic and they're feeling like these youth represent the ideals of Raila Odinga. But Raila Odinga also had the other ideal of let's approach things not with that kind of energy. We have that energy to arrive at particular means or to get us to the table. When we're at the table, we have to talk like adults. And so Oburu represents that. But it is basically the spirit of Raila in these two factions. And if we don't harmonize these energies, then 27th of March, what will happen is this. The state will bring the police to protect the place. Oburu with his good delegates will come there and sit quite structured.
Right.
With zero energy. Then Babu and Sifuna will lead a 100,000 or 1 million man march to where that thing is. What will happen? There will not be any NDC. But then what happens? The party dies. That is the day that the party will die. I can tell you. If they don't postpone that NDC, because already from yesterday, you can see the SG, the deputy SG by the courts, Catherine Omanya, I think that's her name.
Yeah.
They're already starting to fight about who can call the NDC. Because the constitution of ODM clearly says it is the Secretary General or a person appointed by the NEC. Now, there's already a question there. And if we don't harmonize, if we don't have clarity, we're going to have a very, very bad war, a very, very bloody kind of thing on 27th of March.
Yeah.
And for me, I would say early enough, the best thing to do is this NDC must either be called off completely or
postponed.
Babu, postponing is not a thing for me. Babu and Sifuna
yes,
to bolt out and form a new party. There's no harm. That is how it happens.
Yeah.
Because in the Luo culture where I come from,
right,
once a man grows, first of all, when you're a youth, you build your Simba in your father's compound.
Right.
But when you're grown, you leave your father's home to also build your home. Like now I have done.
Yeah. Unanunua shamba yako kando,
unaweza nunua shamba,
unaenda unajenga huko.
Ama mzee anaweza kukuambia pale unaweza jenga hapo kama shamba ni kubwa. Kama ni ndogo unaweza enda kununua shamba yako. And there's no harm in this team doing that. And that's perhaps what I would call for. That these youths, these youthful people, because Babu is about 36 if I'm not wrong. Yeah. And Sifuna is 43. Let them move out and form their own party and start organizing for 2027 and look in 2032.
But now isn't that leaving I mean, if Baba were alive today, he wouldn't want that. He would want Mupigane, of course, in a good way, not the physical one. Mupigane ideologically until the best idea wins and the best idea prevails.
But you see, the old guys do not know that. They don't know because they're looking at who is getting the nomination for the governor, the MP. In fact, I dare say, this specific group, they were used to being given the ticket. Wananyanganyana, then they're being given unfairly. And they have created Oburu as a teen god, and they want Oburu to do the same thing. So they're offering him protection.
Yes,
they're offering him. They're basically blinding him from the reality. Because let me tell you, yesterday, the other day when people were in Siaya, another group in Kakamega, something that I saw which was shocking was on a governor's page, an AI enhanced photo was placed on a governor's page just to match the crowd sizes of the Linda Mwananchi team. That is a pointer to you that the spirit of even these people in Linda ground team is with the people there, the majority. But structurally, they're marooned.
Odhis, unataka kuniambia watu hawajui hii story yote?
Wanajua.
You want to tell me that all those brains that are in the Linda ground team, we're talking about Honorable Gladys Wanga, we have Akinambadi, Oparanya, all those folks that you're saying are protecting their positions and the status quo. You want to tell me then,
in fact, let me make it clear. I think Wanga is trapped. Gladys is trapped. She's trapped because structurally she's the chairperson. That's a very huge seat.
Yes.
And she's not just about to relinquish it, because then it forms a very important structure towards her nomination in 2027 for governorship. But her heart
is actually with the Sifuna side.
I strongly believe so. I could be wrong.
But yesterday I saw her saying that there's only one governor who's gone astray, but all the other governors in the region are with Oburu Odinga.
Okay, now let's look at those other governors. Ochilo of Migori in 2027 is supposed to be losing his seat. Sorry to say.
All right.
But the competition there is too strong. And the last access to report that I saw, a survey that was done, he is trailing Mark Nyamita by about 7 points. That's a very dangerous at this time.
All right. So if
you look at
Paulo Toma.
No. There is Mark Nyamita in Migori.
Oh, okay. You're talking about...
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Then we have Masara, who is competing for the governor's position. Already those two are spoilers.
Because she said out of 15 governors, if I'm not wrong.
So let me just focus on the Luo one.
All right.
Because
I was looking at the 15 governors she was talking about.
I doubt if they could be there.
Okay.
If you come to Kisumu, Anyang' Nyong'o is exiting and is mute. In fact, these people are not his class.
So is Anyang' Nyong'o professor with Linda Ground or Linda Mwananchi?
At heart, Linda Mwananchi.
But kwa mdomo?
Is not talking.
Okay.
If you look at Siaya, Governor Orengo, it is clear.
Huyo tunajua mali yuko. And that is the governor that Honorable Gladys Wanga was talking about.
Yes. If you look at Homa Bay, where Gladys Wanga is, there's a lot of fire around her. But even the last rating, she still stood out at about 58%. She's doing very well. But if the fire continues, if Linda Mwananchi decides to raid her home turf, then she could also be
it's a wrap for
having
her.
A lot of popcorn to fight around her place. Now, the others, I don't see whatever she's saying. And maybe because I don't have the vision to see them. Mombasa, I think Abdul Samad could be as well headed home.
You think so?
I think so. The only thing that will work for him is if Joho bolts out of ODM and Joho forms a new front and renegotiates as a coastal front.
You are assuming
I'm assuming that is bolting.
That Joho can bring people together and that he can form and that he will have a following.
You're assuming the opposite.
I am assuming the complete opposite, not just the opposite.
Okay.
There was an attempt to sort of like get all the coastal leaders into one basket as a region.
Yes.
That did not work.
Yes.
So you look at the politics of the coast, and for the last 3 or 4, 2 decades or so, they have been pro-ODM and pro-Raila. It is my contention that is how Joho managed to get in.
Yes.
When Joe first got in as governor, he was popular. But he was wind assisted by ODM. His second term, in my opinion, was absolute wind assistance. It was the ODM popularity that enabled him.
The support wasn't there.
As a person, no.
Okay.
Not really. Not really. He is not as popular as people who don't come from the coast assume he is. He's not that popular. However, one of the things that changes the dynamics in politics is if he presents himself like now, he's presenting himself as somebody who could be a deputy president.
Yes.
That always changes the dynamics.
Yes.
Because the voter then sees this individual representing them as people of the coast, stabbing for a much bigger seat. Then everything else that had been done before is forgiven, and people,
forgotten,
forgiven, and they don't forget, forgiven, and people will then actually support you.
Yeah.
So I have seen posters of Joho, President Ruto, and a picture of Joho. So those dynamics could change. But remember, when you talk about an election at the coast, you have to ask yourself, of the coastal communities, which is the most populous? Number one.
Yeah.
And what is their leaning as we currently speak? And then go to the second.
Yeah.
If you look at, say, a town like Mombasa, and you look at Mombasa County, the largest community are the Giriama, followed by the Digo. Then these other upcountry communities come in. The Kambas come in, the Luyas come in, the Luas come in. The indigenous, well, the Swahili, don't really feature prominently at all. So if these local communities determine on who it is they wish to elect, either as senator or governor, any local who is a Swahili will stand no chance at all. Okay? And then you go now to Kilifi County. Okay? This is where predominantly you have Giriamas. And you ask, what is their leaning currently?
Yeah.
Or you go to Kwale and ask the same question. What is their leaning currently? You see, Raila Odinga always represented the person who was disenfranchised, Mnyonge, as you say.
Yeah.
And the people of the coast felt that way. Okay? I have not mentioned Taita because their numbers are reasonable, but they don't move the needle. It's because they also have a fairly mixed population. So how they will vote is very much determined by the parties that are represented there.
Right.
But they were predominantly ODM. Why am I giving this analogy? I'm trying to say that the dynamics of our politics at a glance are never quite as simple as people assume it is. I personally am never too impressed by large crowds. Not really. Ever since large crowds came to greet Jesus when he was entering Jerusalem, and an equally large crowd was there when they were hanging him, I feel large crowds represent the moment, the time. They don't necessarily represent the number of people who will vote.
Correct.
They also don't represent what you will see 3 months from now, not a year.
Correct.
3 months from now. So for now, Sifuna and Babu's group are the toast of town. Whether they will be that in 3 months' time, that we will see.
Yeah.
One, remember, our voting patterns, the way we vote, okay, do not start with just the narrative. Narrative is like entertainment. People want to hear what it is you have to say.
Yeah.
Okay? It starts with the support you have in your backyard. That is how our politics has played. Because even when people have coalitions, the one grouping you can rely on is your backyard, wherever you come from. Raila was able to negotiate all these years because he could bring a certain number of people to the table in terms of MPs, guaranteed.
Yeah.
So his conversation began with, this is what I'm coming with.
Because it would influence policy in parliament.
Yes.
And passing of bills.
Yes, because he had the numbers.
Yeah.
What numbers will Sifuna and group bring?
Right.
What numbers will Oburu and group bring? What numbers will Kalonzo and group bring?
I see that Oburu and group will bring nothing meaningful, to be quite genuine. Because the maximum that they may give us in the party would be about, let's say, max out of the ODM MPs in Luo Nyanza. there'll be about 23 or something. Now, 23, yes, is sizable, but you cannot hold the government hostage with the 23 MPs because you need a critical mass of MPs that can stop a government bill or that can stop a particular bill in parliament, because the government does not really care about whatever is happening outside. What they care most about is, can a bill be passed in parliament? Yes, they care about stability in terms of civic disobedience, etc. But primarily, are you having enough numbers that can influence, that can help us push bills in parliament? The Babu and Sifuna team could pull a very interesting move, and that is if Winnie Odinga comes out and joins this team. For this reason.
Joins which team?
This Babu and Sifuna team. Actively. If I replay 1997, well, I was pretty young. I couldn't even understand what politics was. But from reading and from watching a lot of videos, I could clearly see that Raila swept a lot of MPs with his NDP position or NDP party. And that then snowballed.
The entirety of Luoland,
all
the old legacy politicians were swept out. Then it's a all.
He came in with his team, a new team of MPs. And that's what I see, because 75% of our population today is below the age of 35. 70% of this age is below the age of 30, which means 70% is Gen Z.
But the Gen Z are an unproven lot. They are. We know the numbers, we know the stats. We can even assume of the 8 million people who didn't vote in the last election. If we take again that 70%, we can assume it is them.
Right.
You see, the proof of the pudding is the voting.
Now that's where I'm coming to next. That in my imagination, what the team of Sifuna and Babu and the younger team have to do is to ensure conversion amongst the Gen Zs. And conversion looks like this.
Yes.
Conversion looks like ensuring that these guys turn up more and register as voters. Let them concoct a proper narrative and structures, because currently this team of Babu and Sifuna is not structured. Unlike ODM, unlike UDA, unlike Alonso's team, they don't have representation at the polling station that they can command. Because the reason that's why you hear Raila stand and say, Nikisema left, Nikisema forward, is because he had a structure he was commanding that reached the polling station. And this is perhaps what this team needs to do, and think about how do we mobilize these 5.4 million to 8 million voters to turn up and vote. And that will happen with proper structures. Up to now, it is still what he's saying, that there's a lot of excitement, which in Kijelu we say pong pong buoyo. Which means they're forming.
Pong pong, like
pong pong buoyo. You are full, but you're forming. It's like taking cappuccinos.
Pong is to be full. Buoyo is
I don't even care what the meaning is.
But it sounds nice.
It just sounds like pong pong buoyo. So these guys are just pong pong for now.
Yeah, they're just pong pong buoyo for now. And what they have to do is to quickly, because there's no time, quickly move to structure. And let them stop this dilly-dallying in ODM, trying to fight ODM. I don't think it's going
Why
anywhere.
do you think moving away from ODM may not be the best thing for them?
What would you suggest?
No. I'm actually not suggesting anything.
Yeah.
The person who was able to move from party to party successful was Raila Odinga. I'm not saying that act can be duplicated now.
Right.
I have a feeling it can.
No, I'm saying I'm not certain. I'm not saying it can't be.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm telling you is this. ODM already has a following. It is in their interest to stay in ODM until they are kicked out.
That I agree.
Not that they leave. If they leave, they'll have no potency.
That I agree.
If something happens and those who are in one group kick them out, then if they start a new party, they will have the momentum that they need.
And that is why I look at, you remember Shungwaya in history?
Yes.
What happened in Shungwaya?
Remind me.
In Shungwaya, the Bantus came, and that's why they dispersed. Now that's where we had Kikuyus go where they are. We had the Chagas, who are also Kikuyus, quote unquote, remain where they are down there. We had the Meru, we have the Lui, everybody moving in.
Why have you left the Kamba out?
And even the Kamba.
He said Bantus.
Yeah, Bantus.
No, he's being specific and mentioning.
So I think he's jumping the gun.
I think he wants you to mention even Luyas.
Even Luyas, the Maragolis. So I see, and I agree with the city 100% that them leaving could spoil for them. That I agree, because the potency shall have been reduced. But when we go to the NDC, and that's why it's a very tricky situation. That NDC is the Shungwaya of ODM and of Kenya. That's where the split will happen beautifully. And after that violence, because I read it, I see it, I can feel it, I can...
You know, this man grew up in Kisumu. And I understand why he is not wrong in thinking that way.
Yeah.
Because meetings such as this one, when we've seen in the past, remember the story of the men in black?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be
Nobody was injured, but the tables and chairs were really injured.
I remember they flew around.
Yes, I never
But
knew that
Zingine
somebody could
Zikabuchika.
actually kick a table and it could fly. But I saw it, so I know that it is
Very
actually
possible.
It is very possible, and some of those fellows who are kicking tables come from where he grew up.
Mimi ninaona hivi Odhiambo.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
we are saying that perhaps if the Sifuna faction leaves, the potency might be reduced. But I actually think at this point now in time, if they leave, it doesn't really matter. I still feel like their energy, their following will still be there with them because they've already made their point.
No.
Okay, I think that is being politically naive. Maybe let me bring you up to speed on something. So politics is the only window, is the only portal to evil. It's also the only portal to the cathedral of morals.
All right.
It's a very interesting field. It's like the Bermuda Triangle.
It's an interesting mix.
Yeah, it's a very interesting mix. So if they decide now to just leave, of course they have some bit of whatever. But you see the swelling of the masses that Sifuna is having.
Yeah.
It's not because he's just Sifuna. It's because he's being persecuted.
All right.
Now, in politics, there's that concept of people having the underdog. The underdog will always win. Remember, President Ruto won because he was an underdog.
Okay.
Raila was the boss. We could always say the boss is the boss, and the underdog will win. Now, currently, this persecution needs to continue. If this persecution fails, or if this persecution stops, and you can see Oburu team is very brilliant now. They're doing something interesting. They say, hakuna mutu tutafukuza kwa party.
Okay.
Ukitaka kutoka utatoka tu. Now, that is a very dangerous statement, because then they're puffing the balloon, and the pressure is okay. They need to persecute these guys, and these guys will push offense for them to be persecuted, because that persecution gives them a rise in their street index. Now currently the street index of Sifuna is uko juu. The street index of my friend Babu imekuja chini kidogo.
Why?
Because he's not being persecuted much. Now you saw yesterday he went to TV and he talked about him being persecuted. Probably if he pushes that narrative and you find the police beating him or you find the police attacking his car.
He actually posted something. There's someone who was beaten and he posted and said this person
was my voter.
Yeah, alipoteza maisha yake kwa sababu ya kunisupport mimi.
But it could also be either way, because this person was having knives with him. And he went, okay, it's alleged that this person was having knives with him and was amongst the goons who left Kisumu to go and destroy the rally there.
Okay.
Why do you think he's changing, or why do you think Babu is owning him as a supporter? Because persecution gives you
That
a rise
credit.
in the street index.
Yes.
So if they exit now, to come back to the point, I agree with the city, their street index will come down.
Okay.
The street index needs to remain as it is, and they need to continue offending the Linda ground until 27th of March. And that's what I'm saying. If 27th of March comes to be,
Yes.
and the party postpones, as I suspect it will, they're buying time. As they buy time, the Sifuna team only has one option, to go all out and now have physical confrontation with this other team to raise the street index. It's unfortunate. But unfortunately, it is the politics.
When you say confront these guys live, you mean like now when they're having a rally in Kamukunji, waende hapo Kamukunji?
You will find this.
Ama unasema waende kwa ofisi ya ODM.
They could lead protest to the ODM to Chungwa House.
Okay.
They could lead protest to parties, to public gatherings, because it is now that confrontation.
But leading protests to a gathering,
it's very bad.
that is confrontation.
Yes, but that's what perhaps they have to do to increase the street index.
Not necessarily.
You remember? Let me say this, city. You remember when President Ruto led his team on two occasions. One, when there was the rumor of impeachment of the deputy president being impeached. That is when he was still a deputy president. He led a team of 129 MPs in Karen, and had them flank him as he was giving a presser, and he told the president then, bring it on. If you want to impeach me, bring it on. His street index shot immediately. 2, he went to Jubilee House. That was Pangani. And he confronted the SG, then I think it was Tuju, somebody. What are you guys doing? Again, the street index went up. Now, during the actual campaign, the time in a yellow kitenge, I remember, on top of a car, he was somewhere in Eldoret, and he was telling the president, then Uhuru Kenyatta, so long as you don't kill my children,
just deal with me directly.
Just deal with me. Now usonge. Wachana na huyu mtu akitendawili, wewe songa. Nitapambana na huyu. His street index again went up. So perhaps, if the NDC doesn't happen, you are likely to see that play out, where these guys will now go confrontational, absolutely, instead of talking about their issues, just to ensure that that potency is maintained, so that when they finally bolt out, because you must be an irritant, that the party says, hey, no, these guys need to go. So then they say, we have excused them, let them go away. Now, when that happens, then that's a beautiful thing, but that will waste their time. That's why perhaps I'm saying, like Raila did it, just bolt out and say, okay, it's a done deal. We don't see the future with these people. And have a proper message around your bolting out. A proper message. You could just have one proper event that occasions that bolting out, but a proper message on why you're going away.
Odhiambo, let me ask you one thing. Why is it that you've ruled out the possibility of them settling their differences and being one unit?
It's impossible.
You see, you mentioned the 23 possible MPs that this Linda ground could have, and said it was insignificant. I disagree.
Okay.
Umma party had 7 or 8 members. They were very significant in this coalition that would give UDA the majority they needed in parliament. 23 votes, MPs are not few.
Yeah.
In this country, they are not few. It actually makes you a big player. Not the biggest. But
not the
big
biggest,
enough,
yeah, of course.
But big enough. You see, what you're saying is justified if you look at the past. You look at how we've handled our politics. Jubilee not very long ago had the same problems. But people went to court. There was no violent confrontation.
Right.
In the end, they've settled it. These two people, nobody wants to move in these groups.
Yeah.
They're all ODM. Nobody's even claiming they're ODM B or C or D. They're calling themselves Linda Ground, Linda Mwananchi, whatever they call them. But it's all ODM. So the ODM party, and whatever it is it stands for, is still being propagated. In fact, if you ask me, that difference is giving ODM more up than it would have received if it was one unified force.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you take that particular premise, what is it that makes it impossible for them to even come to an understanding? What is it?
They could. That is very idealistic for me, that these guys could come to an understanding. Because
just like the violence is idealistic.
No, the violence for me is not idealistic, because the violence for me is very practical. When you're in a state of despair, some of the things you do are very disparate.
Let me ask you.
And I think
the handshakes that the founder of ODM occasioned, they all defied logic.
Yes.
They all defied logic.
Yeah.
You'd ask, what's this guy doing? So if the founder did things which we didn't find logical at the time, what makes it impossible for the parties, the different factions in the party that he represented, what makes it impossible for them to arrive at an understanding, in all honesty?
What denies them that opportunity is that they're not Raila, number one. And number two is because ODM is not itself anymore. ODM has an extra hand. It's like you and your wife and an extra partner that makes it 3 of you. It could be the mother-in-law. It could be the father-in-law. It could be anything. It could be the sister-in-law.
I thought it was an awesome threesome, but clearly this is different.
Of course. So it could be that. So I see what's happening in ODM is that there's a third partner. And this third partner is what is causing discomfort. I don't know who this third partner is.
Okay.
Yeah. But I see a third partner in it. And this third partner has extreme resources. This third partner has extreme influence, and in fact is promising one of the partners in ODM that just leave the marriage, you come. We are about to, and I actually suspect there are 4 partners.
And you see, that's what I wanted to bring in that spanner in the works.
I suspect there are 4.
Is it possible that there's someone wooing this Sifuna side to do what they're doing, and also another force insisting on the Oburu side to continue doing what they're doing?
I think there's immense cheating in ODM on both sides. And one, cheating happens in this way.
Yeah.
This is an interesting analogy, that it begins with flirting. then before you know it, people are meeting secretly. Before you know, the other partner has read your WhatsApp messages.
Yes.
And has realized actually you are dealing with partner X. So they're also like, oh, this one mwenye amekuwa kinikatia, let me also say hi and let's meet for coffee.
Okay.
So you're pulling away day by day. And as I always say, if you and your wife are left
Yes.
to sort your issues, it will not take 20 minutes. You'll have clarity
Yes.
on what you need to move, on what you need to solve. But once there's an extra hand in the marriage, then the marriage will always go south. So perhaps if these guys decide and say, let us approach this with honesty and say, we've been cheating, both of us.
Someone says here, this is 2.0. Ati Babu will not last with Sifuna. Sifuna himself will very soon have people fighting him right from his own backyard. The other established opposition figures will also fight Sifuna in good time. Nimeona hapa tweet imepostiwa na Honorable Martha Karua.
Yeah.
And she has taken a screenshot of something Governor Kivutha Kibwana said.
Right.
Former governor from Makueni.
Correct.
And she has said, say it louder. So what is this that is being said louder? Kivutha Kibwana, former Makueni governor, has said that no one can tear gas a revolution. We can sense the third economic liberation. James Orengo, kudos for supporting the young people. May other second liberation veterans come forward to lend a hand. Freedom is coming. Martha Karua ni kama kidogo kwa hii United Opposition anajaribu kutuambia kitu ama namna gani?
Yes.
Is she saying that perhaps it's time we consider the Sifunas of today to actually become the flag bearers as far as presidential candidacy is concerned?
Well, I do love what Martha Karua is trying to do.
And of course, Governor Kivutha there
Yes.
also lending his voice.
Yes, Governor Kivutha, of course, freedom is always what I call glittering conveniences, where we are told of freedom, change, etc. Not that we're not free, we are actually free. The challenge is we're having a little issues here and there about the economy, which of course can be worked on. And I believe even if President Ruto today reworks his strategy properly,
Yes.
then he can still win the narrative. But he's losing it on the economy. He's so much on the development. I've done this, I've done that. Unfortunately, the mind of the voter does not easily conceptualize development.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't vote because of somebody's development record.
Yes.
That's not how Kenyans vote.
Exactly.
No.
So I think President Ruto is losing it based on that. The narrative, he has to rework his team very fast. In fact, City, I may say that if I look at President Ruto's team, there's a challenge in terms of people who can tell him the truth. There's a Rutophobia in his regime. Very few people in his communication team can actually tell him, Mr. President, on this we are losing. Because you see them making him an influencer. They've made the president go to
Talanta Stadium.
They've made the president stand on this interchange at Junction Mall. He's everywhere. But now, that is wrong PR.
There's no problem in
But
that.
there's a big problem in communication wise.
Okay.
Because you don't blow your own trumpet.
Okay.
You gain more value when
someone else does it for you.
Exactly. And so instead of President Ruto standing and saying whatever he's saying, I would rather other people do it. But that said and done, if you look at what Professor Kivutha is trying to say, is of course that what I call glittering reality. So I was trying to say freedom. Of course, I've said we are free, and Martha Karua supporting. Of course, there's that excitement amongst revolutionaries. So revolutionaries never really die. Kivutha Kibwana is a revolutionary. Martha Karua is a revolutionary. All of those people who know what it means to be in the street. There's a way that the street has some adrenaline.
Yes.
That you cannot recover from, even in your old age. You will still just feel like you need to go back to the street, like Orengo. Orengo, I think he's 80, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
But he's still in the streets. As much as he's a sitting governor, he still feels like there's something that is not going right. Okay? Yes, of course, there's that beauty, and how I wish all of them did support it. Because if we look at beyond 5 years, let's say President Ruto wins a second term, which as at now, in my view, he's still getting it. If he wins the second term, then the biggest question we'll have to deal with is what happens in 2032? Are we going to have a Kindiki presidency? Or do we want a younger presidency? Because I don't believe that the decisions of my children's generation should be made by CT.
Wait, are you suggesting that
You get
Kindiki
it.
are you suggesting that Kindiki is going to be President Ruto's running mate in 2027?
Of course, there's no
because ODM walisema for us to be here, and of course here by ODM I mean Oburu Oginga.
Yeah.
For us to be here, we want that deputy president position.
The first thing that should have happened,
Yeah.
and this is something I discussed with some of the big guys in ODM.
Right.
I worked in that house. And perhaps children, when they talk, we always dismiss them. But at times, children can see things because they're genuine. They still have that genuine energy. And they're still operating in black and white. You know, for people like CT, they're operating in the gray area. Yeah.
Okay.
And this man is determined to speak on my behalf.
And I did discuss with some of them. And I did share with them that if you ask me, I think we should go slow on a few things and first harmonize the house and let us agree that we go for the deputy president position. Because as Raila was alive, one thing I was certain of is that Wanga was going to be the deputy president. I was cocksure. Because she was the only other person that I would see Raila having in that place very easily, because that will be Raila's bare minimum in my view. And upon Raila's exit, these guys messed, because immediately they started tearing each other
instead of continuing with the plan that Baba had put in place.
Instead of conspiring, ODM should have just conspired and said, you know what, okay, we're supporting this, let's not divide the house. Let me steal your secret. You see this Ruto people, do you hear them talk? Do they come here to talk?
Well, I mean, if you
compare to the ODM team, it's the ODM team that is talking too much.
Yes.
The Ruto team is not talking much.
Yeah.
And in this context, allow me to say that I don't mean tribalism. Kalenjins don't talk much. They're very quiet and they do their meetings in the night.
Okay.
You'll never see a rally of Kalenjins in public. In fact, you can count. And that has something to do with how they are in their age set, something. There's a way that the elders are structured. There's a way that the decision making in the community is structured, that these guys first agree before they come out. But ours, we talk too much before we agree.
By ours, you mean the Luos?
The Luos.
Okay.
Too much talking. They should have sat down and checked what are we getting. Because I can tell you, this PS called Raymond Omolo.
Yes.
He has done quite a number of things. You can see the things that he has done in Nairobi, for example, in Kisumu. It's countable, beautiful stuff. And these guys need to have gone into a conclave, because the Pope is dead. Let's go into a conclave and elect a new Pope and agree that how are we moving forward. Then they would have set forth and say, Deputy President and 50% of the government. And come with a solid population that they're having.
I have a feeling...
hata tukicheza hii game hapa nje, but kuna mali tunaenda kukutania.
I have a feeling they already sat and they chose Oburu.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Somebody the age of City, sorry to say this, City is my friend.
Yeah.
If unfortunately, God forbid, City passes on today, if unfortunately, even the sun will have a ring around it in honor.
Okay.
And things stop, things pause for a period of 2 weeks before anything is done. In that period, you don't go ahead to make decisions.
Like the way they did in
you don't do that.
The Raila family.
You don't do that. In fact, in the culture of Luos, it takes a year, 40 days or a year for people to come back and take tea. At the taking of tea is where we decide who gets what that belongs to who.
Okay.
But in the process, there's always the elder brother, which is definite, that takes care of stuff. Or the person who's appearing to be the strongest in the family, that is always taking care of stuff. And in that period, nobody is always banished. Whether there's an issue or not, nobody is always banished. Everybody is kept.
The understanding
together.
is that emotions are high.
Yes.
People will say things they don't
Exactly.
mean.
Yes.
They are emotional because of the death.
Yeah.
So everything
Go slow on everyone.
Everything is forgiven during that period of time.
Okay.
It's understood.
Yeah.
And time is supposed to bring its healing balm.
Yeah.
After a period of time, then people say, okay, now, can we now start discussing? When emotions have gone down, people are a lot clearer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now we can decide who's going to...
No, now we can start talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in that period, people sit as the house of Odhiambo sits in the night and discusses and says, okay, this is where we are going. These are the guests we are expecting. These are the interests that Mzee had. These are what we now have to protect. But that's what didn't happen amongst us. So if that could have happened in the ODM family, especially the bedrock that City was referring to, which is Luo Nyanza, then you could have found a stronger front that would have then negotiated for DP position and many other ministers in it. But they destroyed that position. They destroyed that chance, and now everybody's looking at their own selfish interest. Because if they look at what I'm talking about, if you get the DP position, the president gives the DP a few ministers as his or her ministers, 2, 3. Then is when he gives the community their ministers. So he could have left with a minimum of 5 ministers in this regime in 2027.
But you know something, Odhiambo, one
Yeah.
of the things that often happens with leaders who are very strong and who have the ability of bringing people together,
Yeah.
unfortunately, they are the ones who are the glue, usually. So that even if there are differences, one doesn't see them. But the moment they're not there, one begins to see the cracks with great clarity.
Right.
I am always reminded of the country that we knew as Yugoslavia. When Broz Tito was the leader, the moment that man died, man, that thing disintegrated, and we saw atrocities. Among the first Europeans to go to The Hague came from that region. They had committed atrocities that when you hear of, you actually can't imagine.
Catastrophic level.
Oh, no, it was at a completely different level altogether. What we are seeing, in my opinion, is what makes or breaks ODM.
That's right.
Because if they overcome what we are seeing,
Then
it will be an extremely powerful party.
Yeah. And that is perhaps what I'm calling for, that the Oburu team has to do as the elders in the house. They have to say, let us look at beyond 2027. But if you look at 2027, because ODM can still give President Ruto support as the house. Because, okay, the issues Sifuna is raising, they are valid issues.
Yeah.
It's not nonsense. You can't dismiss it. The issues that Babu is raising, these are still quality issues. We can talk about them within and say, okay, guys, you have points. And what is the problem in co-opting these guys into the echelons of ODM? Say Sifuna, okay, we are sorry. Omanyo, kachini. Sifuna, resume your seat. Babu Owino, Junet talk, because Junet is not adding any value for me. Junet, step aside.
Okay.
Babu Owino, step up.
He could be having 600 million somewhere.
This is a non-ODM member talking about ODM with authority.
Yeah.
Junet has no value.
Junaid is coming with some 600 million somewhere.
And not just an ODM member, a very important non-ODM member. Never forget that. Because I look from within the house. And I have people talking to me from within that house.
Okay.
So, if they bring back this team and they agree, they can still support President Ruto. There is no harm. And President Ruto gets whatever he's getting and they get whatever they're
Saizi mahali Sifuna amefika na zile vitu amekuwa akisema, talking about the president the way he has been talking about the president, and this government actually just as he has been talking, you think you'd come back and say, okay guys, you know, we have sat, we as a house, as ODM, we have agreed we will support the president going forward. Do you see those words coming out of his mouth?
Let me give you 3 instances.
Yes.
You know, it's like you were born yesterday.
Yes. Tell me, educate me please.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
In 2008, in 2007 I was in Nyalenda.
Right.
People were murdered. There's a place there called Kawata. It currently is called Lake Victoria South Water Services Board. My friend, people were trying to escape. They fell into water tanks. Yeah, they jumped into water tanks. And there was no way of them coming out. I hope you know those big water tanks.
Zile za roto tank.
Hizo kubwa sana. Watu wali jump ndani to save themselves from the shooting that was going on outside. And along Nyalenda, in fact, there's a hotel there called Gulf Stream, where the police were constantly on the highest floor and were shooting people
Snipers
dead.
now.
Snipers. As you were trying to go into Milimani, they would kill you. So many people died. And so many people were ODM members. And we knew, as young people then, that there's no way we're leaving this thing. Raila must take power. Even if it means some of us dying, Raila must take power.
That is a sacrifice that is needed.
And so many people died. We were so shocked, extremely shocked, when Raila accepted the position of Prime Minister. So shocked. But it was for a good reason. The country was stable. Okay? That's number one. Number two.
Were the youths of that time, and especially those who saw those deaths, were they disappointed?
Not only were they disappointed, they spoke out.
Yes.
Raila came to Kisumu Stadium with Ruto. Okay?
With Ruto, with Kibaki?
With Kibaki?
No. They came with Ruto first.
Okay.
They came with Ruto.
When he was appointed?
No, before he was appointed, he came to tell them about the Nusu Mkate.
Yes.
And he was told off on the spot. There was a back and forth.
Yeah.
There were people saying we did not want half the loaf. We wanted the whole loaf. So there was a back and forth. Ruto was given time to speak and said, unajua, kuna mdosi hapa.
Yeah.
Ruto was being cheered at that particular point in time. What I'm trying to tell you is this. What Odhiambo is saying, the disappointment that arose as a result of that was profound.
Yeah. Very. In fact,
very many people had died.
Yeah.
numbers are given by Kenya Human Rights Commission and such, but sometimes I feel those numbers they give they don't
reflect.
They don't reflect
Do
the
not
number
reflect. That
of
is the
people
truth.
who actually died during that particular period.
Now let's come to 2017. Let's leave 2013. 2017. This one I was in Kisumu. I had just stopped working for the governor then because he was voted out of office. We went to Russia Hospital. That is GOTRH in the morgue. I saw for myself, not being told. Bodies and bodies and bodies piled. 27 people were ready. In fact, you remember they said there was no election in Lunyanza. In fact, roads were blocked and the police were shooting because at least to meet the legal threshold, there had to be a ballot box dropped in every polling station. It didn't happen, but people were murdered. And these guys are like, Raila must take it because the court has given us this thing. Instead of Raila going for it, what did he do? He said, I'm not going for the second run. People again were disappointed extremely. Okay? But 2018, what happened? As a shock to the whole nation, even I don't believe even if the current president knew that this was going to happen. Raila shaking hands with Uhuru. And who received a very heroic welcome in Kisumu? Uhuru Kenyatta. Okay? Now, come first 2022. Nobody, again, believed that Ruto could beat Raila. Nobody. In fact, you could see it.
Yeah.
If I believe in Ruto himself was shocked. Like, let me just run against this fellow. If he wins,
wacha tuone itakuwa namna gani.
Ni dadi. Akiwin ni sawa. Sababu ni mtu wangu anyway. If he doesn't win, well, I shall be lucky.
Okay.
But he was surprised when this thing happened. And Raila said all manner of things. ODM people said all manner of things against President Ruto.
Yeah.
What happened soon afterwards during the Gen Z protests? People died. In fact, for the first time, our parliament was breached. Something that is unheard of. And the military moved in. We saw it in that BBC documentary.
Yes.
And people were shot dead. Still, Raila crossed and shook hands with who?
President Ruto.
With President Ruto. What I'm trying to give him this empirical data.
That Sifuna can actually cross over tomorrow.
Can actually be the deputy president of Ruto.
Okay.
If he sustains and Ruto sees that, hey, guys, what the hell? Sorry. If he sees and says, what's happening? This is where the votes are seemingly coming from. The government's first instinct is to survive.
Okay.
Not development. Survival. I say, okay, if Sifuna looks like he's running with the whole people, we're going to talk to Sifuna. Because this election, and let me tell you something that I'm proud about in this country.
Yes.
Our IEBC is so strong. Our judicial system is so strong.
Yes.
Is so advanced that you cannot just rig and run. You rig, they meet you. And because there's precedence that an election has been cancelled before, they can still do it. And so you would want to be so careful as a presidential candidate.
Usijipate
hapo tena. Because it subtracts from your legitimacy. Uhuru suffered it. And
So-
nobody wants to face that.
If I'm listening to you correctly, and perhaps this wasn't your intention, but you're saying that if President Ruto sees the Linda Mwananchi group actually has got more, let me call it power, from the people,
Yes.
the cheese ya kina Oburu inaweza songeshwa,
Itasongeshwa very soon.
Yes.
na hivyo ndivyo akina Oburu wanajipata on the other side,
Of course.
short end of the stick.
Gone. Because who has the political currency?
So they don't even have the stick now, they are gone.
No, they're gone. Like not even, because how are they going to come back to the people? Tulikuwa tunawapigania ama tulikuwa tumeenda kwa rais?
Ask yourself the simple question that Odhiambo keeps alluding to. What is it that made it possible for Raila to shake hands with all these people? What is it?
Okay.
When you answer that question, you'll understand. He had bargaining power. The bargaining power he had
Is the people.
yes.
Yeah.
One
So all this-
politician said it very clearly. It's called Kenneth Matiba.
Yes.
Let the people decide.
Yeah.
He understood it.
Yeah.
So kidogo kidogo tunaweza ona hapa after March inafaa kwa 21
9th of May.
9th of no the
So
NDC.
27th of March is the first one. There's a lot of booby traps along the way of Linda ground.
Okay.
27th of March is the NDC, which is a dare.
Okay.
9th of May or 6th of May thereabout, they have to finish the pre-election pact with UDA. And Ruto is very specific. This thing has to be done.
Yes.
If you guys are really, you want to be with me,
Yeah.
then this is how I'm going to. They're negotiating at his terms. That's a brilliant political move from Ruto's side. 9th of May or 6th, I'm not sure which date, if you find it's public. Oburu and team will be done. So how do they come to campaign that, we are supporting the president? And then
Hii imeenda.
the other side kuna hawa watu wengine. And Ruto sees, because he's a consumer of raw intelligence.
He said it himself.
Yes, and he sees that Kisumu, Nairobi, Kakamega, all over the
Kitengela,
country, Kitengela. This fellow seems to be having sustainable numbers, and he seems to be having structures. He's building structures. These guys are seeming reasonable. Nani, call me Sifuna. And they will talk without the media.
Before you came to this show, did you foresee that?
Of course.
Now, next question. Next question.
Yeah.
If that were to happen, if we find ourselves, if Akina Sifuna find themselves in the position of now at the high table, and Akina Oburu have been kicked out, what does this mean for the opposition, for the opposition that is of Akina Kalonzo and the rest?
I think they're playing. I don't know how to call the game correctly, but it's a full errand for me.
It's called, they're playing second fiddle.
Yeah, they're like, we are the option available, not the best option. Like, other than what is, you even see how they're structuring their message. I saw, shockingly, I don't know who does communication for Kalonzo.
Okay.
Shockingly, Kalonzo write that they're alternative government. No, it's not alternative government. If you want to go for the government, you're the incoming government.
They actually have several terms: government in waiting, alternative government.
It is so uninspiring, and that's why this team has only one option.
Yeah,
they have to. If Sifuna sustains and forms structures, what I cry for in Sifuna's team is structures. If Sifuna forms structures, then this team has to join Sifuna and play and negotiate for deputy president position. And I can tell you, in my analysis,
yes,
if united opposition in the name of Kalonzo, Matiang'i, because most of them are non-starters. Most of them are non-starters. Like Matiang'i is a non-starter. He has no structure. He has no political narrative.
But he is in a political party called Jubilee, which clearly has got a structure. They have a narrative, and they have ideologies from at least the few members of the party we've spoken to.
Once you've buried your something somewhere, you leave it there.
Okay.
You don't walk around the grave with shovels. Yeah. Jubilee is a very painful memory to this country. All of us know that the problem we are in terms of the debts, etc., is Jubilee.
Okay.
It's just that we've not focused on them. If we zero in on Jubilee today, then that Matiang'i needs to be in jail for the Huduma number scandal, which costed this country 9 billion, something that a university could do for less than 200 million. It's basically coding and asking guys to register via USSD code, and they have their number. Shah is doing it in a very interesting way, as much as they've also consumed another big amount.
Yeah, theirs was 104 billion.
Yeah, Matiang'i needs to go into jail immediately. So that Jubilee thing you're talking about is a very sad thing.
Okay.
It's a body that's been buried. In our culture, we don't like to fight with dead things. Let's leave the dead where they are. So Matiang'i is an non-starter completely.
All right.
Okay?
The people from Matiang'i's backyard would disagree with you.
Yeah. Because if your village champion is big in a village, you imagine your village is the whole world.
Actually, no, not necessarily Odhiambo. No. In fact, your comments are bordering on being disrespectful to other people. You see, you cannot argue against a community deciding that they want to support their son.
I'm not talking about that. No.
I'm not saying you are.
Yeah.
I'm making a statement in the third person.
Okay.
You is not you.
Okay.
You is nobody should make that statement. They have a reason why they do so. We attach a lot of significance to ourselves by whom it is from within our community who represents us.
That's true.
Okay?
That's right.
Raila benefited from that enormously for a very long time. Because people always felt, this son of ours lifts our name up there. This son of ours represents us well. That's why people would come up and say, if he has read it, it's okay. See, he has said it is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the problem? At the heart of what we're discussing is the potency of what we call kingpins. And we are also discussing how it is that this 70% we keep talking of will resonate with that mode of politics. Whether they are going to swim against the tide, go against the grain, and decide that they are using completely different parameters for determining who it is they will vote for. Because as of now, those parameters still hold.
And that's right. So then Matiang'i is localized.
But okay, fine. You
Yeah.
know what? From your perspective, Dr. Matiang'i is a non-starter.
Yeah.
Let's look at the other folks in that united opposition. We have Honorable Martha Karua. We also have DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua, and these individuals are not coming by themselves. They also have, lieutenants and other soldiers with them. Of course, we have Kalonzo Musyoka na kuna wengine kadhaa, maybe inaweza kuwa nikisahau kwa sasa.
So let me start with Martha Karua. Of course, you've just read
her tweet. Yes.
Her tweet. I think she's already agreeing that, well, we don't have to fight all through. Somebody else can fight for us today. Tomorrow, the younger people can take over. So Martha Karua is out of the picture.
Okay.
She's going to support somebody else. Rigathi Gachagua, I think, is more focused on getting the MPs into parliament so that he can negotiate a few things. And having a stronghold of Mount Kenya, which, of course, he has. Quite a bit of Mount Kenya West.
Yes.
I think he has it. Because if we go by comparison, I think Mbere North proved to us something different in the Mount Kenya East region in terms of UDA's popularity there. Whether he'll be a presidential candidate or not is neither here nor there for me. Because I have 9 keys with which I analyze this. And Rigathi fails on very many of them. Maybe another day we will have to go through them. I'll tell you how he fails.
Okay.
But he remains a very potent catalyst or influencer in terms of who then becomes the president from their team, the presidential candidate from their team. And
We
plus,
have
and plus, when I look at his intention,
yes.
he looks like he's more focused now on organizing Mount Kenya first.
Okay.
He's not talking much about the national issues. In any case, there's a lot of friction.
Yes, but the other day he was talking about northeastern Kenya, the hunger situation, security, and so on.
Which is beautiful, I agree. The friction, and I don't know if I can say the acceptance by the whole of the remaining part of the nation is still low. He's not driving a very national narrative. He's driving a very fragmented narrative of regionalism. Even if he's talking about northeastern Kenya, it's just northeastern. Rift Valley, it's just Rift Valley, which is good, but he needs to have a striking narrative for the national whatever.
Okay.
So I don't see him going full throttle for the presidency. That leaves Kalonzo as perhaps the only one.
Oh, no, we still have DAPK, Eugene Omalwa. We have
Of course,
Natembeya there.
Of course, those are non-starters. Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
Kila mtu ni non-starter.
No, in terms of national politics.
Okay.
In terms of regional strongholds, of course, they have, like, DAPK has a stronghold somewhere in Trans Nzoia. Natembeya is also...
Okay, fine. Malizia.
Yeah. Of course, Natembeya,
yeah.
with this Tawe movement, is doing the Luya Renaissance. There's something that they're going for. But the Bukusu is the parent family, or is the parent sub-clan
Yes.
in Luyaland.
Okay.
And the Bukusu could be influencing a particular thing with the emergence of Sifuna. And remember, Bukusus are always very formidable in Luya politics. Musalia has been there for quite some time and realize as big as his image is,
Yeah.
doesn't influence much. So there's a lot of fragmentation that then does not leave them with a solid candidature. And perhaps if Luyas decide and say, we are following Sifuna or we are following Natembeya, then whoever they support becomes very important because they're the second largest in the country, population-wise.
Do you think if Sifuna and Natembeya were to meet on the same stage, they would command the same kind of influence? Who in your opinion, perhaps, would rouse the crowd more?
Both of them, interestingly. Sifuna, though, has a national appeal. Natembeya has a very regional, local appeal, which is Tawe. Even
he has a community appeal as opposed to the Sifuna.
Yeah, because we hear him talk about Tawe. Tawe, in Kijaluo, we don't have Tawe. I don't know whether in your mother tongue you have Tawe. We don't have it. So it's a very localized.
I think someone told me Tawe means no, like reject, resist.
Yes.
Okay.
Us, in our, we don't have it. So that alone localizes him, but very powerful. And if he comes to the table with that and says, I am having the Luyas behind me,
dismiss.
It makes him powerful regionally, but not nationally. Sifuna has that national appeal because Kitengela, Kakamega, Mombasa, he has something with him. The only thing he lacks, and I repeat, is structure.
But also, former DP Rigathi is sort of localized.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Sort of localized. Sort of. Not absolutely.
I said sort of.
Okay, why sort of?
See, because it's sort of localized. But he also has an unsort of.
It doesn't move much beyond.
You know, Paul. You this man reminds me.
His name is Paul. I didn't know.
Of a classmate of mine who, when we were being taught how elements are conduct,
Right.
Yes.
and the teacher asked if somebody could give the definition of conductor, and he put up his hand. He was told, okay, I'm not going to mention his name. He was told, tell us.
Yeah.
What's a conductor? Very enthusiastic. So I said, teacher, a conductor is something which conducts something else. And
A conductor something else.
City yote niweka kwa kona
Yeah,
nimekataa.
Rigathi looks like is sort of localized.
Yes.
Is teetering between Mount Kenya and the national politics.
All right.
There's a lot of infighting or local fighting that he has to do and win.
Then let me ask you then, because now we're talking about localization.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say the same about Kalonzo also?
No. Kalonzo ticks. I think we need to have another show on the 9 keys so that I discuss with these people properly.
You said 9 what? 9 keys.
The 9 keys that will determine the presidential race in 2027.
Yes.
And you have to tilt 5 of them for you to. Of course, it's a derivative of the Alan Lichman's 12 keys to the White House. And Kalonzo, for me, in my analysis, ticked 4.
Okay.
And those 4, there are things that these others don't have. Kalonzo is a very neutral image, very neutral person that then has a national appeal because people don't have wars with him. In any case, people only fear that it may be too easy. That's a very good position to be because nobody can really figure out who you are until when you are in power.
Yeah, that's why he was called watermelon at one point.
Yes. Bad branding, but I think he's
Branding nonetheless.
branding nonetheless. then we have him also having the international appeal.
Right.
The diplomatic corps have no issue with him. I also believe that the international powers that have interest in Kenya have nothing against him. He looks like he understands diplomacy. He understands the international relations. So that's a very important key for you to win this presidential election.
Right.
He also has structures in terms of his party. He comes with a solid 1 point or 2 point something million votes,
Right.
which is the Kamba votes. That is very, very important. Number 3 is very easy.
Na zimeongezeka by the way,
What
what
wameregister. So it could even be at 4 million, let's say, for example. Let's give him the highest. That's a very solid number that is coming with. Then to Mount Kenya, which is a very important key, and Nyanza, because the 3 big people in this election who, whenever they go, 2 of them one side will always determine the elections, is Luo, Kikuyu, and Kalenjin. And right now, Luo is,
a bit
is up for grabs. So I call it a swing area. Mount Kenya is a battleground. But it's a battleground that will tilt very easily towards Kalonzo.
A battleground for whom?
Between President Ruto and Rigathi.
Everything that I hear coming from the mountain is that they're definitely not going to vote for Ruto. Is that just people talking, or is that representing?
That is why the
let's look at the
president is
data.
fighting for it.
Let's look at the data because let's go by data now.
Okay.
If we go by, and if you understand politics, you understand that whenever you receive opposition as an incumbent in a particular area, cause a by-election in that area. And Ruto did that perfectly by appointing Ruku as the CS for public service, then introducing a by-election just to test. If he was going to lose, he could know, okay, this is bad. But he tested and saw that, okay, I don't need the whole of Mount Kenya, but let's make it a battleground. Split it. So he moves with Mount Kenya East, where Kindiki comes from. And it gives them an identity. Because all the time we've known Kikuyu, Mount Kenya is fully Kikuyu. But lately you're realizing, kumbe, Meru don't speak Kikuyu. Someone like me.
By the way, that's a Luo problem.
Yeah,
That's what I said,
That's a
someone
Luo
like
problem,
me.
I agree.
I am making it definitive.
Yeah.
Because as far as Luos are concerned,
Mount Kenya yote
Ni Kikuyu.
not only that,
ni Wasapere.
you're a Kikuyu from Meru.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a Kikuyu from Embu.
Yeah,
muko na shida.
yes. So
What do
now,
you mean? Brothers from Central Kenya think all Luos come from Kisumu. You think the problem, and of recent they said, unatoka Bondo.
Yeah.
kumbe kuna Migori.
That place is huge.
But you're right though. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes, it's our understanding of how other Kenyans live is rather limited.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ni ukweli, because every time a Luo would introduces themselves in a gathering, someone will say, unajua nimeitembea Kisumu. Not knowing that this person maybe
not from
hata hiyo
Kisumu.
Kisumu ajai kanyanga.
Yeah.
But I get it. Yeah.
So Mount Kenya then becomes a battleground, and President Ruto is fighting for it. Rigathi is fighting for it, and it could tilt towards Kalonzo very easily as well, because Kalonzo is a very easy character, both for Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. Mount Kenya West, that's Kiambu, Murang'a, this other side. They would easily say, Kalonzo ni kijana yetu.
Yes.
We can go with him. So
As in.
yeah, and Luo have no issue with Kalonzo, remember,
Right.
because Kalonzo has supported us in the cold for quite some time. So if the narrative fits, and he brought 100 cows to Raila's funeral, if the narrative fits well, it could also just be. So Kalonzo is the most dangerous candidate in terms of the united opposition, apart from this Sifuna Babu axis, because he's grounded, he has that appeal. Perhaps the only thing that Kalonzo lacks for me is the money, because you need about 10 billion to 15 billion to mount a serious presidential campaign.
Thank you so much for bringing that issue.
Yeah.
Why do people need these colossal sums of money to campaign?
Of course, there's so many reasons.
No,
why we need
why
it.
do they need this colossal amounts of money?
Let's do the calculation. Unataka kufungua calculator?
No, just
Because I can take you through it very fast.
Without a calculator, let's do it.
So the first thing, the expenditure that you need for campaigns is always the bit of transport and logistics, which consumes the biggest amount.
For whom?
For the presidency and the team.
No, for the
candidates.
For the candidates,
yes, exactly.
So the team, as in you are the one who shoulders the cost of the team moving.
So let me first put it in
Why?
context. Let me first put it in context, CT.
But I've never run a campaign, City. I don't know.
Me, I've run a campaign.
So have I.
I've run a gubernatorial campaign. I've run a senatorial campaign.
Okay.
So I know, and I want to put in because if at that level we consumed about between 80 to 200 million for both of them, I can only imagine what the presidency looks like.
Yeah, but you know, Odhiambo, these sums are colossal.
Of course.
This logistics, you want to move around the whole country.
Yes.
How many choppers do you need?
About 4-5.
Let's put it at 5.
Let's put it at 5 on the minimum, by the way, CT. Because you have there's
Why?
the presidential. Let me explain. So we have the candidates chopper, the pool, yeah, and it cannot have one. He must have at least 2. In the instance, this one is under maintenance. This one, because it is constant moving. In a day, you are doing 4-6 places, and service will always be needed. So 2 at the disposition of the candidates.
How did we used to campaign before choppers were invented?
Well, that was then. Now we are here, CT. Come on. So
City anataka to campaign like it's 1966.
No, actually, I do, because when you talk about money, this
Right.
is my point of view. People like Odhiambo, who are strategists, will tell you what it costs because that's what they have seen. So they are merely telling you the facts of the issue. But those figures immediately put very many people into the pale.
Yeah.
You can't even think if you are going to focus on the money that is needed. And I'm asking the question, is it necessary? I'm looking at Akina Sifuna and what they're doing. Those guys are not spending hundreds of millions.
So let me tell you further. There is a campaign that is people driven. We can even compare to Trump's campaign, for example. In America, which is the most advanced democracy on earth, we have people contributing.
I'm not so sure about that, but go on. Yes.
Yeah, we have people contributing normally. But for the first time in the first Trump regime, the first Trump duration, first Trump term, we had him self-finance. Then the second one, we saw a few people, but oligarchs, the American oligarchs,
Yes.
contributing. Kamala Harris had people contributing because people look at Trump and say, you have money, do it. Kamala Harris, you don't have money, we're going to contribute. Now transpose that to Kenya. President Ruto, you have money, do it. Kalonzo, you need to have money because you've worked in government for 40 years. People are stealing. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Sifuna, okay, you don't have money. We can contribute. I've seen it. People are saying online, we can contribute for him if he decides to. That's interesting. It could happen for the first time in Kenya because initially it was corporations and people who have vested interest in Kenya that will contribute. Now, let me go back to that chopper thing. The presidential candidates need 2 choppers to move around.
Okay.
Then he has surrogates. Surrogates are these people who are considered his contemporaries. Like now, if you talk about the team of Wakina Kalonzo,
Yes.
you have, how do you call him? Rigathi Gachagua. You have Fred Matiang'i. You name them. That team, Wakina Martha Karua.
Yeah.
Those are surrogates.
Okay.
Those ones, when they speak, it is Kalonzo speaking. You don't expect Martha Karua to be in Kisumu and to be in Kisii same day and using cars. You must be giving us something.
Okay.
A chopper, that is. So 3 choppers deployed.
On one weekend. I'm on one day.
One day. Not one. You talk about weekends. Presidential campaign, there's no weekend.
Kila siku ni campaign.
Kila siku ni campaign. Like
Alright.
now I can tell you confidently, President Ruto is campaigning actively. Yeah.
He could be at State House, but he's campaigning.
He's campaigning. Even in State House. He's welcoming political delegations to State House. He's
Okay.
campaigning. Now, one chopper costs how much? Now, the different ranges, if you can check. Bel Air, whatever, they cost averagely on the minimum 250 million to purchase one.
Okay.
You need 5. That's already $1 billion gone. Uja fuel, uja lipa license,
Hauna pilot.
hauna pilot, hauna hangar fee. so much. So put another 1 billion to maintain and
Hiyo
operate
kitu
them.
inaweza ipark tu kwa nyumba yangu uko mtaani.
Of course you can.
Okay.
You're allowed so long as you have a helipad and you are licensed properly.
Okay.
So 2 billion already gone to choppers alone. They now go to the presidential pool ya magari.
you need several V8s.
You need several
That's
V8s.
the point. There's
Yeah.
something wrong with this model of campaigning.
You need several V8s because pia mali unaenda kuongelesha wananchi bwana, kuna milima na mabonde.
And you know why perhaps I need to tell City this.
Yeah.
Initially we had something called press agentry. In press agentry, we had the media announcing, giving the voice of the candidates, and that will be just enough. Oh, Rais alisema, oh, nani alisema, the opposition candidate alisema, and guys will be like, what is the radio saying? In our language you say pinyo wacho nango, pinyo wacho. We would listen. What is the world saying? They didn't need to have so much money, but today people have gone to engagement.
Right.
It is no longer press agentry, it is public relations. People want to be engaged at a personal level. You're not just going to tell them we've passed a policy. They'll be like, ngoja, policy gani.
But Odhiambo, this engagement has been there for a very long time. In fact, before the advent of these high salaries that MPs have, and before the campaign that we know it is that interpersonal campaigning that actually got people voted. And that's why many people who are elected were either former teachers, people who are known to be churchgoers,
Right.
people who the public related to easily.
Yeah.
And there are people you saw on a regular basis. There are people whose homes people visited. They were actually regular people. Okay? What we are seeing now and what it has morphed into, where the money is at the core, where this thing actually took off was in 1992.
Who was the first person to campaign using choppers in Kenya, if you remember?
Was it President Moi?
The former Kilome MP. The first person.
This was Nanio.
He looks like you a little.
This
Harun Mwau.
It was Mwau.
Yes. He's the first man to ever campaign using choppers in Kenya.
Yeah, that didn't help him very much, did it?
Okay. It's
It's a long story.
It's a long story.
You know, I don't know if it is maybe Thursday, Friday-ish there. I saw CJ Maraga campaigning somewhere.
In Mombasa, somewhere.
You saw that video?
I saw that clip.
Jamaa alikuwa bana peke yake kwa barabara.
Yeah, but
tu.
you even saw the vehicle he was using was not a small car.
Yeah, it was a V8.
It was a V8.
So he was on the roof, of course.
Yeah.
And then there's someone who
Was
had
it his V8 or had somebody donated the V8?
Well, we don't know, but he's a man of means
But
anyway.
it is branded his party
Yeah.
colors and everything.
And he's a man who lives in Karen. I don't believe
Yeah.
you can live in Karen and like
He was a
V8,
CJ,
man.
bro.
Yeah,
He was a CJ.
Yeah.
Akona
That's
do.
good money.
See that he's also broke.
Yeah, he's not broke.
But so he was in Coast. Then there was someone in a loudspeaker
Hapo nyuma.
saying something.
Yeah.
And I could look at the residents of Coast just looking at this guy.
And wondering.
Zile za So I asked myself, had that been a Sifuna convoy ingekuaje? Had that
Ooh.
been what's his name? A DCP convoy ingekuaje?
You are speaking about the drama that is part of our politics.
Yes.
And how attractive it is. The Sifuna group are attractive.
Yes.
The things they say, the things we've heard them say over time, the way they go about the things they say,
Yeah.
they're interesting.
So for
Maraga
doesn't
have much drama.
yeye tu ni kusema kinye nasema,
Yes.
move on to the next
Yes,
town
exactly.
or whatever.
So on that score, he will lose big time because he doesn't have the drama.
Yeah.
People like Razbataz.
Kuna baiskeli tu ilimpita tu, huyo jamaa ni kama hata hakuwa anajua ni Maraga ako hapo.
So now, the first 2 billion is consumed. Let's go to the second. I want to explain to you how we get to 10 billion. So 2, you need these vehicles. And the pool of presidential vehicles is not cheap. Because you're not going to buy second hand from these cabasas. You're going to, because remember, you want a car that you can directly talk to the manufacturer on how you want it customized. In most instances, they're going to be brand new. And right now, there's a something happening in this country about there's a new car that I'm seeing in this country. People, I don't want to mention. I think it would promote them. That car, one unit is 23 million shillings. It's the most favorite of politicians today.
Yes.
They've left the V8.
Is it the one that the president's son bought the other day?
You are seeing it. You know it.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah. Even Morara has it. But yes, continue.
Yes. 23 million one unit.
Morara akona hiyo brand new.
Yeah. How many do you need?
Eh.
Because you are going to give all these guys vehicles to move. On the minimum, you're going to fuel their
We
cars.
are licensing and giving a lot of airtime to conspicuous consumption in the crudest way possible. In all honesty, there's something wrong.
Yes, of course.
How do you explain such an expenditure
Yeah.
which targets people, many of whom don't even know what they're eating that day? And all this opulence is supposed to convince this hungry person that this person with all this opulence
Is the
Yes.
best for me.
is the best for you.
Yeah.
That person already is not the best for me, clearly.
But and it's a good question we are asking, and we
Yeah.
need to answer it. And perhaps the person that we need to ask is not us in the studio here. It is that person who is directly been we've all been directly affected, but we need to ask the people on the ground. Because going again to the CJ Maraga situation, this guy doesn't have that razzmatazz that we are talking about.
Yes. Yes.
But for some strange reason, he might not get the support at the ballot that he needs for him to be in the position of president. Yet there's someone here who comes, lands with a chopper, people, throng where he is. He's probably a corrupt politician, and he's probably going to get the majority vote, and he's probably going to be the next president of this country.
And there's something that the media has talked about for a long time that perhaps we need to clarify.
Yes.
About why do Africans love corrupt politicians? Okay? And I think it's time we declassify this thing.
Okay.
There's a very brilliant professor called Professor Peter Eke. He wrote about the two publics post-colonialism. It talks about the primordial public, it talks about the post-colonial public. And says the primordial public is the majority of African population. And what's the primordial public of African politics? These are guys who believe in the cultural doctrines or dictates of their communities. And a large bulk of that is that when a brave man from the community went out and raided another community,
Yes.
and came home with cows and came home with products, etc., he was praised. So corruption in Africa is not just about morals. Morals is the post-colonial public, who are very few. The pre-colonial public, that is in terms of their thinking, at the majority, they still believe that if somebody steals and brings home, that person is good. Or if somebody steals, that person has something that we are going to share.
Yeah.
Because he's stolen on our behalf. Okay? So that's why when they see people spending these amounts of money, they don't even have any issue with it. In fact, they cannot even fathom what a billion is. CT.
Well, I
If you
can't
had to eat
fathom
a
a
billion-
billion. No, I am among those people who can't fathom a billion.
Yeah, if you-
Million, I understand. Billion,
If Munga, you are to spend a million shillings every month,
Yeah.
you are going to take 80 years to complete spending a billion shillings. Right now, how old are you?
How many years?
80.
80.
80. If you are to consume a million every month,
Every month.
yes, you'll take 80 years to consume a billion. To finish it. Yani umekaa tu unapakwa mafuta, unaoshwa, haufanyi chochote. Umekaa tu na unakula hiyo milioni moja.
Na unajua kuna watu wamekuwa hivyo for the last God knows how long.
Yes.
My point is this.
Yeah.
It's actually morally wrong when we take pride in a campaign that splashes as much as it does, and there's this vulgar display of material well-being amidst the raging poverty that we have. In my mind, there's something absolutely wrong with that. That is my view. And even as people talk about this campaign and they give it momentum and they breathe air, oxygen into it,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, we are retaining the status quo that is responsible for the problems we speak of. And in this era where more and more people are being born and the majority of our people are young, we are told the median age in Kenya is 17, I'm told.
Yeah.
It means we are consigning an entire generation and the ones after them to unnecessary hardship and poverty. Why? Because of the conspicuous consumption that we have allowed ourselves to be. And this is actually exemplified by what we consider the norm in our politics. It is something I find abhorrent, and it's something that I find anybody who has any sense, and I'm saying this, let me repeat it, anybody who has any sense should reject, because it removes the discussion about what it is that a leader is supposed to do, or a wannabe leader, and it speaks more of what it is that somebody can spend. Now,
Yeah.
that amount that people can spend, unfortunately, can guarantee somebody a seat in our parliament.
Yeah.
It can guarantee somebody a seat of authority. And we take it even further. What else do you think happens if you spend that amount of money and you feel that there's a position you want in government? Are we saying that we are excluding people spending money so that they can get positions? I don't think we can exclude that.
Yeah, people are spending to buy those positions.
Yes. So
and in Kenya, we know people buy jobs.
So where does that put us?
They've been buying the presidency.
Those who don't have means, what becomes of them? And they're the majority.
Yes.
What becomes of them?
And some of them, but they, in my opinion, are actually good folks for the positions that they are actually, campaigning for.
Yeah.
Kini sasa tutafanya nini?
Now, City, allow me to complete this 10 billion. I want to understand fully.
And we have 3 minutes.
We have 3 minutes, I can see already.
3 minutes,
So
yes.
let's say we have 47,000 polling stations in Kenya. The president needs to, whoever is campaigning, needs to reach at least 200 people per polling station. At least. For him to get 9.4 million votes in 2027.
County aggregation centers or polling stations?
Polling stations. The 47,000.
The 47,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kenya.
good.
Yeah.
For a moment, I thought I said 47.
No.
47,000.
So he needs to meet 200. He needs to reach at least directly 200 people who are his ambassadors. Okay.
So.
And then, how much do you think a presidential candidate will spend on 200 people? That's around 1,000 per person. Okay. That brings us to 9.4 billion. This is direct conversion. The person who has received that money is expected to campaign for the president. You've not put the media budget, because media, again, advertising, etc.
Yes.
It's too huge. Okay? So perhaps we say the first people that need to reduce or to promote democracy is the media. So let us have presidential candidates come and put the adverts for free. The media houses will collapse. So we have to get money. So media budget alone is 25% of the presidential campaign kitty. There's a minimum of 2.5 billion shillings that goes to the media alone. Okay, so these monies cumulatively is about 10 to 15 billion shillings for a properly well-oiled campaign.
This is now a presidential campaign.
Okay. So can Kalonzo raise that?
Why not?
He can.
Kitupatia till number, maybe watu wa Kenya wata consider.
The question is, why not?
But he was in the States during the National Prayer Breakfast, the US one. And part of the reason, apart from attending that prayer breakfast, was to raise funds.
It's always a fuss.
Yeah.
There's no much money that you can raise from those things. Yeah. Presidential campaigns are not funded by commoners. They're funded by the vested interest in the natural resources.
So of course, hata anajua huko ndikaliwa ameenda.
It will be very interesting to see how he wires it in, except through his foundation.
And several others.
But I can tell you the biggest sponsors in presidential campaigns are not the ordinary people. They're the capitalists with vested interests in the country.
I know he didn't have like a Kiondo walking in the streets of New York. Zile za toa kitu kidogo.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he has a plan.
The billionaires in the country who can finance, like I suspect heavily, that someone like President Ruto will not need to worry much about his campaign money, even if it doesn't touch government money.
Yes.
There are so many people who just want favors. I've bought you cars.
Yes.
I've bought you choppers. They don't have to bring the money. I've taken care of the media bit. Taken care of what? So through in-kind donations.
Yes.
Already it could be at 60-70% of his budget. Somebody like Sifuna May. If you look at somebody like Raila, like for example media, he never needed to pay anything because he was the news himself, number one.
Yes.
Number two, there are some stations which gave him free airtime throughout, including production of his adverts. If you look at the cars he was having, Raila, I think, never bought any car. Because like the last one, Karoli said he bought so many cars. He donated 700 million shillings to the campaign.
Okay.
I mean, you can see it is it's quite something.
Thank you so much. Odhiambo, we've come to the end of the show.
Yeah.
This has been very enthralling. Let's hope that perhaps at a given time, things will definitely look up, right? And we shall definitely continue this conversation. All right. This is how we come to a close as far as the morning show is concerned. Kwa sasa tunaingia katika kipindi cha Kwaheri. Do stand by because Rania coming through for the next hour, for the next show rather, and then we shall have we shall be having the power drive show coming through at exactly 3 in the PM. Kwa sasa tunasema shukran na kwaheri.